Donald Trump's tariff plan could be an absolute disaster for our economy, for working people like you and me, and for a large part of the world. But does Fox News really know what's at stake here?
Thank God for Doge. They're looking at waste, fraud, and abuse. Just got access to Treasury payment accounts to showcase all of the fraud going on, billions and billions of dollars. They're already saving billions of dollars a day. We have to look at spending. We have to look at tax cuts as well. But it's very important. There are multiple factors that go into inflation. We have to recognize that and try to fight our way forward and grow the economy in a way that wages grow with the challenges we have ahead, and that people can afford eggs and gas again. We can't do that right now until we fix the system.
Yeah, we were just looking at a scrolling list of some of the products and companies that are going to be affected, and it seems like virtually every sector of the American economy potentially could be targeted by these tariffs, and the tariffs that Mexico and Canada have now announced that they will institute against U.S. goods.
Nancy Mace is talking about how grateful she is that Elon Musk and Doge are cutting government spending. Meanwhile, a list of all of the industries, all of the sectors, all of the products that would be affected and the prices would be raised if tariffs are implemented on Canadian and Mexican goods. Retaliatory tariffs could be placed on American exports by Canada and Mexico if Trump's tariffs go into effect in a month. And that all seems abstract, but what that actually means is all of those goods would be subject to 25% increased prices, because those companies aren't going to absorb those costs. They're going to pass it on to you, the consumer. It's effectively a 25% tax as a result of Trump's policies. Now, how does that help working people?
But also in this announcement, Jake, he says that they are going to have frontline personnel working and protecting the border after concerns about fentanyl coming across. And he said that they are going to be appointing a fentanyl czar, and that they will list cartels as terrorists and ensure 24/7 eyes on the border. I believe it is the fentanyl czar that is new here, but it's that last sentence, Jake, there at the end is the most important here. He says, proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work together.
Those tariffs were set to go in place over the weekend, but after Mexico and Canada announced that they would help Trump crack down on the border and help limit the flow of fentanyl across these borders, he backed off. But here's the thing, they didn't actually announce it this weekend. Some of these plans, and specifically Canada's plans, were announced in December.
Clearly the administration sees it as a movement today, with Mexico and Canada promising a lot that they weren't promising before.
Not true in our case. I can only speak very directly on this. We've had candid conversations with the administration for a long time on what we felt we could do and what we felt needed to be done, not just for you, but also for us. And many of those expenditures were already announced by the Prime Minister many weeks ago.
So what's the point? Why even bother with this? He sent the market into a free fall. Futures were down, stock prices were down, investor confidence was down. Why cause unnecessary panic? Delaying the tariffs by a month isn't enough for Fox News. They want those now. They want people's prices increased now. Here's Laura Ingraham saying Trump caved.
I'm not too impressed with the Canadian response, frankly. The fentanyl czar, I don't know what that's going to do. And I guess they'll have a few helicopters flying at the border. It's not nothing, but they were going to get slapped with 25% tariffs, and now those are gone for at least 30 days. I'm not sure what's going to happen in 30 days. Maybe some other concessions, but I think President Trump saw a huge negative reaction to this, as I know you predicted, I predicted, from Wall Street, from the markets, from all the establishment types. Do you think he reacted to that? Or maybe some of his advisors said, whoa, we gotta rethink this?
She'll be fine. She makes a hefty salary from Fox News. She doesn't care about the working person. She never has. So what does she care if your prices are increased? She can eat those costs. It's totally fine. Her life won't be affected at all. All of this is just Trump throwing around his weight, trying to bully other countries. He tried it and succeeded with Colombia. As a reminder, they told Trump they weren't going to allow U.S. military planes to land there. They wanted no part of his deportation scheme. He threatened them with tariffs, and they backed off. So now he's trying with Canada and Mexico, despite plans to beef up security at the border having already been announced. Ultimately, it's disrespectful and isolates America on the global stage. Here's Canada's ambassador to the UN explicitly saying so.
Why we're trying to have a reasonable and sensible discussion, and that's the kind of discussion
I appreciate
we'd like to have, and one that's respectful. And by the way, we're not the 51st state. We're a sovereign, independent country. Our leader deserves to be treated with respect. and we deserve to be treated with respect, and that's the way we want to proceed.
Beyond the US needing to be a good neighbor to Canada and Mexico, the root of this problem is Trump's callous disregard for workers. He's happy to make average Americans pay the price for his political malfeasance. Trump's reckless and impulsive policies make all of our lives more difficult. And for a guy who campaigned on lowering costs, doing the exact opposite in the first month of his presidency spells disaster for the next 4 years.